What can't these chat interfaces do for your business? What are they bad at?
What are they bad at? Well, historically, they've been bad at hallucinations. So you may see this, like, if you learn about them. This is the idea that if you ask one of these AIs a question and it doesn't know the answer, it will confidently give you a wrong answer.
Okay. Rather than saying it doesn't know.
Right. It's not humble. It's not intellectually humble. It won't say, oh, I'm not sure. And so they have knowledge cutoff dates, for example. So the model was trained up until, I'll just make something up, like June 2024. So it doesn't know anything that happened after that date. And if you ask it, it will know, right? Oh, I know what happened in August, this, and it's totally made up. Okay, so
Alabama's beating Vanderbilt.
Right, yeah, that's right, that's right. Yeah, it would be worth asking how the game went and
Yeah.
like what it thought. That's been improved considerably, so the models do have access to the internet now. Mm-hmm. So it's not in their training, but they can search the web, and that helps them with current events. So historically, what's been a problem, I think, has gone down a lot. And now the issues are more around, it's not what it can't do, it's what you have to work to get it to do. It's like hiring a new employee. So if you have a brand new person and you want them to, let's say you want them to write a blog post. If you just say write a blog post, you're probably not going to be satisfied with what they bring back to you. And so you take the time to be clear about what you want, right? What you expect. And then even then when they do it, you look at it and you say, now that I've seen what I've asked for, this isn't right. So there's that whole, we expect computers to sort of be
read our minds.
Super human in some way. But if we don't give them good instructions, then we just, it's just like working with a person.
Yeah, so it sounds like the fault isn't even of the chat interface, right? It's us.
This is the main issue. I mean,
problem.
Are there things that it can't do? Yes, there are many things it can't do. But when I'm working with people initially, they're like, yeah, it's not giving me. I feel like I know people are doing valuable things with it, but I'm not getting that, and this is usually the issue.
One of the areas that when you ask a person on the street, what do you think about AI? One of the first things they'll tell you is, it's going to take our jobs.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right, so let's talk about that, because I think that is a serious concern.
It is interesting. I mean, there's so many people, too, who are like, yeah, I hate this job. And you're like, well, AI is going to take it. Oh, no.
I still need
it.
Which jobs will AI take?
Yeah, well, so there's a couple ways to think about this. One is, yes, certain jobs are more automatable. And even things that didn't seem automatable now are, like
sales,
like video production. Like the Hollywood strike was about potentially AI being able to, create feature-length Hollywood movies, and what does that mean for actors and writers and all that. And so some jobs are more automatable than others.
What are the jobs that are more automatable?
I will just say this: if you sit in front of a computer and do your work, yours. If you sit in front of a computer all day and work with a computer, that's, yes.
Your job
yours.
is at risk.
Yeah, because an AI is about to be able to watch you work for a week and say, do you mind if I do that for you, kind of thing. I mean,
why don't you go get a cup of water?
In the next 12 months, we're going to be there.
The next 12 months, an AI will be able to observe me work, and then...
I think so, yeah. Okay. I mean, they already have a computer, like Anthropic has this computer use thing where there's a little sidebar on your computer, and it can control your mouse and keyboard, and you would say, all right, can you tell me what the top 10 restaurants are in Birmingham? Put it in a spreadsheet, email it to me, and it's like, okay. And then it just starts doing, you're watching, it's a little rough.
Yeah.
It's just a new thing, but you can see exactly what it's going to do.
Okay.
So computer work.
So which jobs will be
spared?
The traditional blue-collar jobs that people thought were going to be taken over by robots are actually the ones that will withstand AI?
I don't know. I mean, robotics in a factory setting is certainly vulnerable here too. It's maybe like your plumbers. You have to do things like that. You have to think about your job and the jobs in your company, and you also have to think about what sector you're in.
Okay. When you have a lot of scale or cash, you can invest quite a lot into advertising. This was really beneficial in the 1950s when television advertising was so hard to produce, right? It took a lot of money to shoot a television commercial.
Yeah.
There were only so many brands that could shoot a television commercial. So when you were able to pay for television advertising, you became like a Class A brand, right?
Got it.
And I think now the fear is for a lot of these small to medium businesses, how are we going to advertise on AI, right? Won't AI just know the biggest brands? And one of the coolest things about Google search is that it gave small brands the opportunity to compete.
Yeah.
So how are small brands going to be able to compete when some of these AI chat or search products come out or get better and offer advertising?
Yeah, the advertising industry has been very resilient over time.
Right.
I mean, right? Like we talk about these big shifts in channels and platforms, but the market has just continued to grow and grow and grow and grow. So I say all that to say, I think your ability to advertise well in this era will be solved. There's just too much money at stake, right? The dynamics are going to be strange. Like if I go ask ChatGPT, to help me buy a car, and it recommends a Toyota Prius, and that's great. And then I find out that Toyota paid for that. Because the relationship with a tool like ChatGPT feels a little bit more like me asking you. Like you know a lot about cars.
It
like,
feels
what car
so
should I
strange
buy?
if you found out that I was getting a referral bonus and wouldn't tell you.
You said Toyota, and then I found out you were working with it. That would feel really weird in the context of our relationship. And I think it's going to feel like that. So that's kind of the problem that needs to be solved. Is it will make a recommendation. And
it seems like the best idea within their product would just be to explicitly say, hey, or like have advertisements the same way that Google does, right? Like that is the best thing about Google search with the ads is that it clearly labels the ads. It's almost like the ads are more effective now than the search traffic, right? Because the search results have been ruined by SEO practices and like you talked about Googling how to grow a tomato, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like nowadays if you Googled how to grow a tomato, the only things that would come up are these blogs from tomato companies.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
And like the whole time
Big
it would be like,
Tomato
yeah,
would
big,
be all
like
in my
15% off coupons hitting you up the whole time.
Yeah.
So
which is good. I mean, in a way, the relevance is high.
How do you, if you had to predict how ads will show up in these chat interfaces, how would you predict?
I mean, ignoring like constraints and how this might be built. I mean, it would be wonderful if a tool like ChatGPT just had sort of endless affiliate relationships with all the companies. So if it recommended a Toyota, it would get paid by Toyota, but if it recommended something else, it would, right? And there wasn't a favoritism to it. I sort of feel like that will become more nuanced, and so these tools will be very effective in helping us find the right thing.
Especially when we trust the AI to act on our behalf.
When it feels like a person,
right?
When it feels like a friend, or that's right.
But can it go a step further? Right now we're asking Google for information. We're not asking Google to complete the task. So
right. Go.
What happens when we
Yeah.
give all of our trust in the AI and we say, hey, not only do I want you to find me the best car, then I want you to go buy it for me.
Yeah. The key challenge is delegation, for sure. But that's a skill. I mean, a lot of people become managers. They don't become good delegators, and they fail as managers. So, yes, asking an AI to, hey, I'm trying to, you might not do this with a car right away, but, by a TV maybe, something in like $500 or $1,000 range. Like, could you go ask me whatever questions you need and just go buy it, and I need it delivered in the next 2 weeks before the football game.
Yeah. But ChatGPT doesn't have something that can act on your behalf and order yet?
No. So we'll see like the Anthropic computer use where it can control your mouse and keyboard. OpenAI will launch a version of that in the first quarter. So
tell me about Anthropic. You've mentioned them a few times.
Yeah, so these are some guys who were working at OpenAI who I just thought it'd be worth trying to do it themselves. Some smart guys opened up a competitor, and I think for the last year, people that use these tools a lot have preferred their Claude model, but the interfaces are pretty much the same as ChatGPT. They've been a little ahead on just building a better product. So it's like for the people that know this really well, you'll hear them talk about Claude a lot. I mean, you go out into the general public, it's not,
what do
super
you
well
use?
known. Well, this month's been so crazy, I'm not sure right now.
What were you using last month?
I was using Claude a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're a Claude guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Claude probably, I think over the last 12 months, they've gone from 5% of the market to 25. So they have grown a lot. And that's been at the expense of OpenAI, all of that. Yeah.
What are tools that can help small business owners right now, other than ChatGPT and Claude and stuff like that?
There are some AI-powered search engines. When you search Google now, you get a little AI blurb at the top, but it's sort of it's like a bolt-on, it kind of feels. So there's a search engine called Perplexity that is built sort of the ground up with AI in the background. And for a while, it didn't click for me, but they've improved it a lot, and it's worth a try now. So it's good for research. Like a lot of small businesses, you don't have like a research team. So if I wanted to identify 100 customers in a new market, right, it'd be nice to have a tool that could sort of go and assemble that for me. And so Perplexity is much more in that direction. It's a good research assistant.
You brought up Perplexity, and I've thought that it makes a lot of sense for Apple to acquire Perplexity.
So they could have Apple's a whole other conversation. It's like
what's
it's
Apple
like
been up to?
unclear what they're doing.
Tell us what Apple's been up to, because we all know Siri.
I hope they catch up.
Okay,
is what I'd say. I mean, a lot of people have iPhones, Apple devices. Those people should have a first-class AI native experience, and they don't have that yet. So I think if you have, what's the newest iPhone? Like 18, 17, anybody? I don't know. So the newest version has the hardware on it to be able to run one of these models. It uses a model that's not very good. Honestly, it's small and not particularly effective. And if the model feels overwhelmed, it will go and use an OpenAI ChatGPT model. So they haven't built anything really meaningful themselves yet.
So one of the wealthiest companies
these
in the
people
world
have the largest pile of cash
and
of anybody. And they just haven't been spending it in this area.
Okay.
So this is a little perplexing to some people.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about Big Open Ocean.
Yes, I do consulting work. That's how I pay my bills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm trying to help with a real specific problem. I want to get people off the starting line. When you go out and talk to business leaders, there is a lot of, yes, I've heard of ChatGPT, maybe I've even used it some, but I don't really know what's going on. Or I don't feel like it's an important part of how we do business today. And so people just need to get started. And so what's your first project? And let's start and finish it in 30 to 90 days and show something valuable so we can see if we like it or not. Is this a good use of time and money? And then figure out what the next thing is. But a lot of people are just not getting off the starting line, and I want to help people do that.
Got it. So if you want to
Why
meet
does it
other
matter?
people who like to talk about AI, go to Birmingham AI. If you want to use AI in your workplace, go to
Birmingham AI anyway, right? It's free. There's free pizza. It's fun. You meet a lot of people. There's probably, if you're trying to hire an AI person, that would be a good place to go to find that person. But yes, if you want to get into it and do some work in your business, then
give you a call.
Birmingham AI, we don't.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm out of questions. Do you have anything you would like to say to the audience?
No, I mean, Robert and I talked about this before, and Birmingham AI really is kind of the big talking point here. We just sort of have a heart for Birmingham and want business leaders and people in business here to not miss out on this. Be aware of the risks, but also take advantage of all the opportunities that are happening right now. We need it here, and so we'd love to see you there.
Cool.
Once a month, Innovation Depot, free pizza.
All right. Thanks for what you're doing.
Thank you.
All right. Cool.